Welcome back to a new video. So it snowed a bunch last night, well, the whole time. Yesterday and throughout the night. So it's really bright. Can't really make it any, oh, that's helping a little bit. There we go. Alright, so you can see how much snow is back here. Sorry, I had to get around this pole. So, we're looking down at my feet. If you can see it, it's about a third up my leg. So, however much that makes, but quite a lot of snow. But I dug this all out and got the lock unfrozen. So yeah, now time to train.
Welcome back to a new video. So this was some snow day lifting that I did on Monday, which I was really surprised that training went as well as it did. So I basically just planned out my week and I was like, I'm just going to go do it and just try to see how I can figure out to do snatches and clean jerks. The squats I was actually pretty comfortable doing and pretty confident with. When you're bundled up, sorry, adjusting myself in my chair. When you're bundled up in multiple layers like I had to be out there today, it doesn't make it very difficult to do squats. For other lifts it can, but I actually felt really good. So I took a little while to warm up and acclimate to the temperature out here. But as you saw in the intro, I was shoveling snow in the front or in the backyard, but I also had shoveled snow in the front to get my car into the carport. So I actually did quite a bit of movement today, or quite a bit of just extra, lifting if you want to call it that. There was a ton of snow though, so it was quite a bit of work to do, to be frank. But with the snatches today, I did 5 sets of 3 at 80 kilos. The last set I did with a set of 5, and honestly these all felt really good. So I was really surprised when I was doing these, just how they were moving, how they were feeling. The bar was cold at first, but then, as you start working with the bar, it warms up a little bit. And so it wasn't really, my hands didn't really hurt too bad or anything, which I was really surprised with. So that, and you see the sleeping bag that I put up on the door, that just prevented mostly just the wind from blowing in through the door. There's actually, you can't really see it in the video, but in the bottom, next where that blue plate is, you can see a little bit of light. There's a little crack in the door where there's actually a little bit of snow that got into the shed. So certainly not an airtight tight facility that I'm running here at my house, but certainly is good enough for a session like this where I wasn't really confident of being able to drive to the gym and get out of my neighborhood and not have any sort of issues either with my own car getting stuck somewhere, or more likely is someone else driving like a maniac and crashing into me or something. So they actually canceled school today for the PD day as well as tomorrow. So I actually have 2 kind of snow days in a row, which is nice in a sense, of course. I kind of wish that the PD day was still there in some fashion because I have equipment and stuff I want to get ready, but that's a problem for Wednesday morning. I can relax tomorrow and probably, I think I'll be able to go to the gym. It looks like my street is getting cleared pretty effectively. The snow plows have come by a couple times, and so I think I'll be able to drive to the gym tomorrow without much of an issue. Today it was just a little too iffy after driving there Sunday and having just all kinds of issues with just how bad the roads were. But after doing the snatches, I felt really good. Did clean, front squat, and 2 jerks, and did 4 singles at 110. These, they didn't feel bad. Like the technique of them felt fine. My right wrist was a little bit not happy with them, which was, I don't know if that was just because of the way I was catching the bar in the top of the jerk or in the clean, or if it's cold, if it was just because it was that. It's probably some combination of that. But I was really trying to make sure that I was catching it in a better part of my hands, because at least on like the first rep of the first jerk on the first set that I did, it was getting a little bit too far into closer to my fingers, and I think that was putting a little bit too much strain on my wrist. So I was trying to catch it more in the meat of your hands and kind of in that stronger area, and I think that helped a little bit. So just something to keep in mind for myself as I'm trying to catch jerks, to get it behind my head, but to also get the strong part of your hand, kind of like the lower part of your hand, to be the main part that's pushing up on the bar, since it's just going to be structurally stronger, of course. But honestly, I was happy that these went as well as they did. I thought these, particularly because yesterday, like I didn't even want to clean 110. I thought like maybe today I would have that same feeling. I did take some ibuprofen today to help with just ease my mind more so than anything. And the only thing that I kind of noticed during the session was the outside of my right foot was just kind of uncomfortable, but nothing that really, and that's kind of like how I measure it is obviously like if you have extreme pain when you start training, that's kind of a non-starter. But if something progressively gets worse throughout a training session, that's also an indicator that you need to, kind of chill out. But if it either gets better or doesn't really get any worse, then you can kind of, push through with what you can. And squats weren't aggravating or anything. And I see here, took a big jump up to 210, which ideally I didn't try it on this day. This was 230 that I tried before I did a 3x8 with 150 kilos. But I want to be able to make these jumps. I like taking big jumps in the squats. Obviously it saves energy. But in theory, if I were able to go from 170 to 210, then 230, then that would allow me to jump to 245, which is a similar jump as I did to get to 240, where I went from 225 to 240, which isn't really that crazy of a jump for me. And I think it's something that as long as you practice it, it becomes like an easier thing to do. And I think like mentally the hardest jump is that like 170 to 210 or 200 or 205, whatever number that is, because that tends to be, I think, the most aggressive change of weight going from 120 to 170. Yeah, you feel a little bit, but when you go to 200 or 205 or 210, like that's where it's like, all right, this is like actually kind of heavy. And I just want to get used to that jump. So maybe instead of going from 70 to 120, I maybe go 70 to 125 and then 175 to make that jump a little bit more, just a little easier. So something to think about there. But the sets of 8 felt pretty good. It took a while before doing them because I was fatigued from that 230 and I really didn't want to do sets of 8. And I think there was some apprehension with my leg that the singles weren't going to aggravate it, but maybe the reps were. But I only felt some sort of weird thing on like one rep, and then I just tried to push my knee out a little bit more on the right side, and I didn't feel anything on the other reps, and it all felt pretty good. So I'm happy that I was able to actually train today. I should be able to go to the gym tomorrow because it's supposed to be cold again, but it should be a lot clearer, at least from the roads. But yeah, I was able to get through it. But I had a thermal Under Armour shirt on, as well as that sweatshirt you saw, the hat, of course, and then I had the regular sweatpants on top. I had the knee sleeves under everything and the belt. I was belted for all the lifts. I just put it under for, I don't know if I did it for the 3x8, I forgot, but for the 230, I definitely did, just to make sure it was as tight as possible. So it was, actually doing what I wanted to do, or, at least I was feeling like it was. But then put the knee sleeves on, or I had the training pants and put the knee sleeves over those. Had another pair of like training tights under those tights. So I had like 3 layers of pants, and then I double socked, which I'm glad I did because my toes were getting a little cold during the snatches. So took a lot of precautions and made sure that nothing was hurting and just moving around in a bit. And I don't know, I'm pretty proud of myself that I was able to go out there and not really even gut through it, just like have a really productive session. So not something I'll choose to do on different days unless the circumstances are there, but it's nice to know that even in the mid-20s like it was today, that if I really had to, I could have a full productive training session. So really good day of training in the snow. Well, not really literally in the snow, but during the snow day. But that's gonna be it for this one. I'll talk to you in the next video, and hope you have a great day. Peace.